boys and girls. Okay, before we were talking about a bird called a robin. We said that the robin is about 10 inches, about that big. And we know robin has a red breast and they lay blue eggs. Well, now we're going to be learning about another kind of bird. And this bird is very, very tiny. This bird is only about the size of your thumb. That's pretty small, isn't it? And this bird is called a hummingbird. And that's what we have a picture of here. We have a hummingbird. That says a hummingbird is very, very little. And like I said, it's only about the size of your thumb. Her nest is so small, it fits on a pine cone. You see the pine cone here. And look how tiny her nest is. And she made it with grass and spider webs. Can you guess what's inside her tiny nest? Yeah, eggs. We're going to be learning about little baby hummingbirds and their eggs. Okay, so this is a hummingbird up here. We're going to learn a little bit about hummingbirds today. Right, so let me just open this up, slide this over a little bit. This is a big poster here. So let's see. All right, so it says, tiny babies grow up. All right, now let's look over here. Look at these very tiny eggs. You see those tiny eggs? Can you see them? They're very, very tiny. You see those tiny hummingbird eggs in the tiny nest? They are so small, they're each the size of a jelly bean. Now, you know how small jelly beans are, right? You see jelly beans around Easter time? Those little eggs of those little tiny birds are so small, they're the size of a jelly bean. That's really tiny. That's like this. Okay? And over here we see the little baby hummingbirds, and there's the mom. It says, what hatched? Tiny baby birds did. They want food. And here we see they're opening their mouth. They're going, mommy, mommy, feed me, feed me, feed me. And there's the mother hummingbird getting ready to feed her babies. All right, and look how they're growing. Okay, they went from these little teeny tiny eggs that are the size of jelly beans, and now they don't have any feathers yet, but we see they're starting to grow. They're in the nest there. They're getting a little crowded in there. At 13 days old, says the baby birds grew. They have feathers, and you can see their little feathers are growing on them. And they barely fit in that tiny nest. When they're 21 days old, okay, the baby birds can fly now. They will fly away from the tiny nest, and we see this little hummingbird inside the nest there, and it's flying away. Okay? Do you know why hummingbirds are called hummingbirds? Well, they're called hummingbirds because they flap their wings so fast that they actually make a humming sound. Okay? And a hummingbird, actually, if you look real closely at this picture here, you'll see that the hummingbird actually doesn't land when it's sucking the nectar from a flower. It actually hovers, and it flaps its wings so fast that it kind of stays in the air. And as it's moving its wings so fast, the wings actually make a humming sound. How fast can you flap your wings? Well, you don't have wings, but your arms. Can you flap your wings really fast? Do it as fast as you can. Faster. Okay? We don't make a humming sound though, but that's what a hummingbird does. Their wings flap so fast, it actually makes a humming sound. So hummingbirds, like I said, are very tiny little birds. They're only about the size of your thumb, and they're called hummingbirds because their wings flap so fast, they actually make a humming sound. Now we're going to do a little sequencing thing. We're going to start from eggs to the eggs hatching, and to little baby birds, and to them flying away. Like here, we're going to do a little sequencing thing on our paper. Okay, so we just take this down. Okay, I'll move this out of the way. And we're going to take this paper here. This is our hummingbird paper, and we see the little hummingbirds down here. And we have our numbers. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. And what we're going to do is we're going to first cut out our pictures here. So what I want you to do, take your scissors, okay, and very carefully we're going to go straight across, okay, straight across that dotted line. And very carefully, look at your paper. Very slowly and carefully, take your time. Go all the way to the edge of your paper. All right? And now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut the rest of the outside of the lines, okay? So cut on the outside of your line. Cut this outside one all the way across, very carefully and slowly, looking at your paper. Okay, and now we're going to cut the other lines also. Okay, so we're going to separate our pictures here. So we have the birds in the nest, and we have the birds flying away, and we have the eggs in the nest, and we have the little eggs hatching. All right, so we're going to cut right on those dotted lines. Be careful not to cut your pictures. So cut your lines, separate your pictures. Okay. All right, so we have our 4 pictures. Now we're going to take our number paper. It has 1 to 4. All right, what we're going to do, it says hummingbirds grow up. So we're going to look at our pictures and we're going to decide what happens first and what happens next and go on until they're all grown up. All right, so looking at your pictures, which one do you think is going to happen first? We have the birds flying away, the little birds in the nest, the eggs are hatching, or the eggs are in the nest. Which one do you think is going to happen first? Right, the eggs are going to be in the nest. Remember those little tiny eggs that are only the size of a jelly bean, okay? So take this one first, and we're going to put this over here on number 1. Because that would be the first thing that would happen. Okay, so we're going to put this picture with your eggs in the nest. This is going to be number 1. So put that over there. Okay, that's the first thing that happens. All right, what do you think is going to be next? Are the birds going to fly away? Are the little birds going to be in the nest? Or are the eggs going to hatch? What do you think comes after the eggs? Right, the eggs are going to hatch. So find this picture here where the eggs are hatching. See the little tiny baby birds starting to come out of the egg, okay? And that's going to be number 2. That happens next. Okay, so first we have the eggs are in the nest. The little eggs start to hatch. The little baby birds start to come out of the eggs. Okay, remember the little nestlings there. What do you think happens next? Are they going to fly away, or are they going to be little birds in the nest? Right, the little birds are going to be in the nest. We're going to put this one over number 3. And then the last thing, our little baby birds will fly away. So let's put this over here on number 4. Right, and we'll put it over there. So this is how little baby hummingbirds grow up. They start out with little teeny tiny eggs that are the size of a jelly bean. Then those little eggs start to hatch and the little nestlings start to come out. And then we have the baby birds are in the nest. And then when they're about 21 days old, the little birds fly away. Now remember, hummingbirds are only about the size of your thumb, and they're called hummingbirds because they flap their wings so fast that it makes like a humming sound. I wonder if you might have any hummingbirds around your house. You know, there's actually some flowers. It's called a hummingbird bush. It's a special kind of flower that grows on a bush type thing, and it attracts hummingbirds. So maybe you might have one of those in your garden, okay? So this is about little hummingbirds. Okay, see you later.